Hey guys, it is Shauna coming to you from Ponder, Texas. I wanted to take a minute and put my ugly mug on this video because I forgot to give credit to a couple of people later on in the video. Um, eh, Closer to the end of this video, I talk about people that have been instrumental in helping to educate me, helping to inspire me, and helping to make my dream of creating a homestead on our little 1 acre um, begin to come to fruition. I mentioned my husband. He is very important to this whole thing. I could do it without his without him being okay with it, but it wouldn't be very fun and it wouldn't be very successful. So any of you that are married know that both people need to be on board, and my husband is on board with this, and I appreciate him for that. I wanted to say thank you to God. I feel like I'm making a speech at the Oscars or something. I wanted to say thank you to God because He is the Lord of my life, and He has put into place jobs and careers and people and decisions and many, many other things. He has guided me every step of the way that I would let him guide me. Let's put it that way. I'm a little bit rebellious about things like that, so I'm not always the best. But when I have let him, he has been right there to guide me and direct me and keep me from danger. So thank you, God, for all that you do for me and for the people that you put in my life. And one of those people is a friend of mine that I have known for 20 plus years. I don't even know, and I think it's right around 20 years, but she has taught me not just about chickens, but we've been friends for so long. There's been so many things that she has taught me. She has stood beside me and supported me even when she doesn't agree with what I'm doing. She has accepted people that she wouldn't have accepted just because they were important to me. She has been my resource when I have questions about chickens or how to do something. She has been right there to answer the question. She always answers her phone. She always answers my text messages. And that's my good friend, Audie. And Audie, I just want you to know that I thank you for all that you've done for me, not just where the chickens are concerned, not just where mom making is concerned, not just arts and crafts, but everything that you have done for me and with me in the seems like a lifetime that we've known each other. You are very near and dear to my heart, and you always will be. And just know that I love you and I appreciate you. So with that, let's get on with the rest of the video. And let me just say that anybody that says that making one of these videos is easy has never tried to make more than one on a regular basis. This is the longest one I've made, and I have screwed up so many times. But you know what? Everybody has a beginning, and this is a beginning for me. So you guys enjoy, and we will talk to you later. Bye. Hey guys, it is Shauna with Little Bit of Love Creative Endeavors. And I'm out here in Ponder in my backyard, in my chicken's favorite place to be, only it's not so favorite right now. I wanted to do a couple things. I wanted to give I guess it'd be a 3 or 4 month review on the chicken coop that we have. And I wanted to show you some of the things that I have done to enrich and improve the life of my chickens. So we're going to start right here with a little bit of shade. Now, like I said, we are in Texas, North Texas, thankfully not South Texas. And I just checked it's about 7:30, and I just checked the feels like temperature, and it feels like 102 outside. And it is 102 outside at 7:30 in the evening. If you look around, I'll try to go slow, you will see this, where we built our house, used to be pasture land. And we have one little mesquite back there, and a couple of mesquites here, and a hackberry. And none of those really provide shade. So this is what you're looking at right now. This is east. So the sun comes up here and just beats down in this the chicken's backyard. And when it gets high in the sky, the front of their coop faces west, and they get beat up from the sun there. So I just had some of these step-in posts left over from a previous project that, if you go back to other videos, you can see. And I stepped those in, and I had a tarp in my art room, and just put that tarp over there to give them some shade in the mornings, because in the mornings they stay in their little coop and run because of the sun. So I wanted to give them a place to play. You can see right over here this is one of those washing machine pans. I think I've gone over this before. It goes underneath your washing machine or your hot water heater or whatever, and I've just got sand in it to do a dust bath. I am currently watering the grass, hoping to bring it back to some kind of green state so that it's a little bit cooler and not so prickly when they do come back here. All right, so let's go and talk about this coop and what I think 3 or 4 months later. Still think it was too expensive. However, when you compare it to the other coops that are out there and available, it was the best, the biggest and the best for the money on the prefab coops. One of my issues with this coop is that this has been the only ventilation. And in 102, 105 degree temperature with no chance of rain, it's not enough. So I took the plexiglass out of here and replaced it with mesh or hardware cloth. And that does give some added ventilation. It's still hotter than heck in there. I have also, let me kick this. I've been cracking the door open for them during the day so that, because I do have 2 egg layers now. And I didn't want them to be just completely stuffy in there. So, the egg boxes, or the nesting boxes. This is the nesting boxes. My chickens are not using the nesting boxes. We did build this, or my husband built this, to go over the nesting boxes to A, give them some sense of privacy, and B, to stop the poop from falling in when they're on the roost. However, since I've gotten the new chickens and they're getting their pecking order all in check, some of the new ones are sleeping in these nesting boxes. Where the new ones lived before, their nesting boxes were on the floor. So I already had these made in case the ones on top did not work. I had already made these. So I put these on the floor. One of the chickens is using them. One of them still just using the run. But I've only had her since the 4th. since Monday. And this is Thursday. So, nesting boxes are okay. They're just not the greatest. Just because they're not covered. There's no sense of privacy for them. There's no anything. And the little dividers are just flimsy little pieces of wood set in a slat. And the pine shavings get down in the slat, and then you can't put those in there. So they're actually preferring the nesting boxes on the floor, which is fine. I can deal with that. And those are just made of Sterilite tubs with the front cut out. So other than that, I've showed you this before. I added a fan in here so that there is more ventilation, more air moving. I do have 11 chickens, and they all seem to be sharing this space well, especially when you consider of those 11 chickens, 3 of them are roosters. Yes, I know I need more hens. There's Betty Boop. Hi, Betty. She's one of my new ones, and she is super, super friendly. And that one behind her is Boss Hog. And Boss Hog has figured out that he's a boy and that hens are girls. And now we're going to have a parade. The AM Samani is Polly, and then the other Barred Rock is Prudy. And I tell you guys these names every time. I know you're probably tired of hearing it. So let's close this up. Polly, you got to move. You got to move, Polly. Right now I'm just using firewood to keep the door from slamming. All right, sorry, I probably just made you dizzy. I'm sorry. I have a frizzle right there is Annie. Okay, now in the front here, as I said earlier, this is west facing. So about noon, it gets hotter than Hades up here too. And so all of my chickens have been trying to share this little 8-foot by 3.5-foot space, 3.5, 4-foot space, and it's just too hot for them. Sorry, I probably just made you dizzy again. I did put a shade cloth up for them. I just bought the shade cloth. On this side, it is attached with zip ties. And then over here, I made these posts. It's a 5-gallon bucket, 60-pound bag of concrete, and just Schedule 20 PVC. This piece is 4 foot. The piece over there is 4. Piece over there is 4 foot, and then I've got a 6-foot piece over there. So this does help. It's supposed to block 70% of the sun. I'm not sure that it blocks 70% of the sun. I may end up having to get another one of these at some point in time. I just gotta quit spending money on these chickens. Right there. That is, he rules the roost. That is King Poppy, or Poppy. That's Poppy. And Poppy has been crowing for a while, but he's kind of stopped, and now all of a sudden he's crowing again. I guess there's new girls in town, and his crow's not very well developed, although Polly's is. And this is one of my roosters, Boss Hog. Yeah, I haven't heard him crow, maybe once. So that's the front of this roost. I have gotten accustomed to these. I don't hate them as much anymore, although I kind of still wish we had something different. This whole thing I covered with the hardware cloth, and I cut a hole here because when I first got this, I was really bad about locking myself in. So in here, as I said, this is about 8 foot long and 3.5 to 4 foot wide. And it's not very wide. Please excuse the mess. Chickens live in here, and it's 105 degrees, so I've been giving them, these bottles are filled with water, and I've been putting them in the freezer at night to freeze them, to give them something to cool them off. I put a fan in here as well, and I added some roosts. And y'all, I'm a zip tie girl. Everything in this thing is zip tied. And I have gotten comments about you need to replace the zip ties. But let me tell you something. First of all, on the hardware cloth, you can see how many zip ties there are. If a zip tie pops, if 10 zip ties pop, I'm still okay. No, that's number one. Number two, zip ties make everything semi-permanent. If I make a mistake or if I want to change something, it's cutting of a zip tie, not trying to open up some piece of wire, cut off some piece of wire. Uh, it, it's just a zip tie. So that's what these roosts are in here with. And they are loving these roosts. So all in all, I am happy with this coop. I am going to have to get some more hens. And with that, I will have to get a bigger coop or another coop. Or my husband is going to have to go ahead and part with some roosters. I had a home for my AM Samani. This one right here, had a home for him. And my husband decided he wanted to keep him, said he was happy here. So anyway, that is where we are. When I brought the hens in, I broke all the rules. The new hens, I did break all the rules. I usually do. There's enough room here that I just brought them in. I did have to put my AM Samani in the dog crate one night. After I did that, he was fine, and there were no, I mean, there's been squabbles, but there's not been any bad squabbles, other than my roosters figuring out their roosters and what they're supposed to do with hens. They are over by the sprinkler right now. So all in all, I'm happy with it. I wish I were a little handier and I would build, I don't know, a little porch on the front of it. Instead of a shade cloth, I would have done the egg boxes a little bit different, even if they had just bumped this out and made this come out here. It would have been better than the way they've done it. But, you know, it is what it is. And you take things and you adjust. And that's what we are trying to do. I come out every day and try and do something a little bit different for these guys to give them some change, because I am the first one to say the same four walls gets a little old after a while. So this coop is the Sentinel. That's Sentinel XL coop. Says it will fit up to 14 or 16 birds or something like that. Unless you have some bantams or a bunch of these little ones like I've got around here. I wouldn't suggest putting that many in there. I'm not going to get any more until I find, I probably am going to build a hoop coop. So, anyway, that's where we are. So Sentinel XL, I wanted to give some credit out to a couple of people. First of all, one of my first subscribers and one of my few subscribers is Paul and Melanie's Backyard Flock. They are great people. They have done amazing things with a city lot, a house sitting on a city lot. So go check out their channel, because you'll be amazed. I was amazed. The garden, chickens, the whole bit on, you know, your average city-sized lot. So that's amazing. They are certainly making use of every square foot. Some of the people that got me started, first of all, my husband got me started years ago talking about being self-sustainable. And that's where the chickens are the first step for that. Well, moving out here in the country where we had some space was the first step, and then the chickens was the second step. I've also been watching Adler Farms. I will link them. I'll link all these people below. Adler Farms, Grandpa of Adler Farms, Keeping It Dutch, Walker Farm Fam. Let's see, Our Rustic Life. There's several channels. Sheraton Park Farms, love Sheraton Park Farms. Several groups of people that I have either A, drawn inspiration from, B, learned from, or C, just appreciate their candid way of putting life on a homestead on YouTube. So I'm a pretty honest person, and I like things to stay pretty honest. So I like to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that stool out there, that's pretty darn ugly. But anyway, so I'm going to link some of the people that I follow in the comments or the description below. I will put a link for the coop. Much of this stuff is just stuff that I have thrown together with leftovers that I've had here around the house. So I think that just about sums it up. It's made this video a little bit too long, but that's okay, I hope. But yeah, that's where we are. This is where we'll stay. Love you guys. Have a great evening. Let's take one last look at Annie before she goes to bed. She's singing, "The sun will come out tomorrow." I don't sing well. All right. Good night.